Now, if we were down south, if Dr. Kober were down south with us, because of the structure of the churches down south, King James only, such and such, we could not refer, or somebody would improperly refer to Dr. Kober as the potluck professor because luck is not in the vocabulary in the churches, although there are some ashtrays outside the foyer of the churches. I don't understand. So he would be called Covered Dish Kober down south instead of the potluck professor. I think I have a proper response, Dr. Kober, because you were kind enough to bring me back from the brink of imminent invisibility forever at the women's prison there in East Germany. So my response to whoever calls him the potluck professor is, we have perhaps the most prodigious, passionate person to promulgate practical, pertinent promises properly pertaining to potentially problematic passages with profound professionalism. I thought about reading that, and then I thought, well, I should probably pass. As we think of our graduates and as we celebrate our college students coming home, and as we, even as we look at some of the challenges that some of our families face, I think it was once said that you're either heading into a crisis, in the midst of a crisis, or on the backside of a crisis. And I think that's probably true for all of us. But one thing is constant in all of that, and that is God's faithfulness. And I will be the first to admit that I don't always see the faithfulness of God in those dark times. But God is always, always faithful. And that's why we have the record of the Holy Scriptures, so that we can read from experiences of the great men and women of days of old, how God was faithful to them. And we know that God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And so as we finish our portion, we want to make sure Dr. Kober has ample time this morning. But I thought it was appropriate that we sing Great is Thy Faithfulness as we celebrate the faithfulness of God for our high school graduates, remembering as they move forward into a new phase of life that God will still be faithful then, and as we have some folks that are experiencing challenging times. I know Lacey with the situation with her dad, of course Bruce and Barb, and just all the ongoing things that we face. God is faithful. So let's celebrate that this morning. Stand if you would please. Great is Thy faithfulness, one of the great hymns of the faith. Great is Thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with Thee. Thou changest not, Thy compassions, they fail not. As Thou hast been, Thou forever wilt be. Great is Thy faithfulness, great is Thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, Thy hand hath provided. Great is Thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Summer and winter and springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above. To Thy great faithfulness, mercies, and love. Great is Thy faithfulness, great is Thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Pardon for sin and a peace that endureth, thine own dear presence to cheer and to guide, strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow, blessings all mine with 10,000. Aren't you thankful for that this morning? Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. Lord, unto me. A cappella. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. And all God's people said, you may be seated. Girls.
There's nothing worth more that will ever come close. Nothing can compare. You're our living hope. Your presence, Lord. I've tasted and seen of the greatest of loves, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence